Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dakota. I'm super excited you're here. This video, I'm going to go over my martial arts journey so far, how I got to where I am, and what led me to go to the Hanmadang Tournament in this upcoming July. I've trained under a lot of awesome instructors, so I'm going to share a little bit of that, as well as just why the martial arts have meant so much to me in my life. So stay tuned. Our story begins like most good martial arts stories do. I initially fell in love with Bruce Lee and his writings, understood some more of the philosophy. From there, in high school, I was finally able to train at a martial arts place, Ernie Reyes. My instructor was Kwanjanam Dan Haney. From there, I moved on to make a lot of videos, tutorials on a YouTube channel, similar to this one. I started to understand through practice the training that was needed both for my physical body and also the values and understanding, determination that's really required to succeed for martial arts. So this video is one of my favorites that I initially made. My little brother's holding the pads and a GoPro, and it's just kind of fun to see how that looks. I think it's cinematically kind of cool. And I wish that was really Jackie Chan, but that was from the Wax Museum. I made more tutorial videos on stance, distance, timing. I did a lot of training on my own, a lot of study on my own, on top of the awesome instruction that I got at Ernie Reyes. In high school, I was kind of known as the martial arts guy. And then I went to college. In college, you can see the Trojans in the background. I went to the University of Southern California, fight on. The University of Southern California is an awesome hub for martial arts, just being in that LA area. I was on a couple different clubs that I tried in college. I tried the boxing club, I tried the Taekwondo club, I tried the wrestling club, I tried the Jiu-jitsu club, and I was on the Trojan stunt team for a while. The Trojan stunt team and the Jiu-jitsu club were the two that stuck. And then here you see I was able to go to the awesome Gracie School in Los Angeles as well. Super blessed to get some instruction from those awesome instructors as well. I continued my weapons training on my own, finding as many tutorial videos as I could, making my own. When I was at Ernie Reyes, my instructor under Grandmaster Anthony Kleeman taught Filipino stick fighting as well. So I learned some Doce Pares and got my green belt in Doce Pares. In Ernie Reyes, I made it up to red belt, which is relatively close to black belt, but then I had to go off to college before I was able to complete that. So here you can see some of the Doce Pares training that I had. I did my best to practice on my own, although a lot of the disarms are a little bit harder and the throws are a little bit harder to practice on your own. Martial arts starts and ends with respect. So here you can see I do a little bit of a bow at the end. A bow is basically like a handshake. It's just a way to show that good respect, because martial arts is very value driven, at least in the traditional arts especially. Here you can see I've also had some experience with nunchucks. This is a tutorial video I made on nunchucks. I lost my other one. I normally use dual nunchucks in a lot of my practice. Here I made a tutorial video on bow staff. I love weapon training, first of all for the development of coordination and for the understanding of body mechanics. And they're just so much fun. In college, I was lucky to take a self-defense class under Arthur Chivichian, and he's an awesome instructor as well, professor at USC when I was there, and he does a great job teaching more the practical self-defense side of martial arts. In college, I have a lot of stories with my classmates. The first thing I did on my freshman dorm floor was to introduce myself to all my classmates and to see if anyone wanted to spar. I have some awesome stories from that. This right here is my friend Nahyan. He was interested in learning some basic kind of martial arts self-defense stuff too. and he was nice enough to let me use him for a tutorial video there. I cannot say enough about fight tips. Shane Fazen is awesome, as most martial artist YouTube watchers know. He was a big resource for me watching his videos in my training. I love Disneyland, of course, being there so often. So I'm going to use this part of the video just to talk through a couple different other places that I don't have photos and videos for, but that were also instrumental in my training. So I also trained at the Renzo Gracie Los Angeles, mostly the jiu-jitsu side, and then I started to do a little bit of the Muay Thai towards the end there. I also trained at Uprise MMA, also in Los Angeles. I would bike there after work and then train there. It's on Venice Boulevard. Highly recommend if you're more interested in going into the combat side of it. They have a lot of really solid sparring drills that are exhausting, but really get you prepped for more realistic sport combat fight. And then I also want to call out Easton. I trained at the Easton Training Center over in Boulder. It's also a jiu-jitsu Muay Thai school. Really great instruction there as well. I enjoyed my training there a lot before I moved a little bit more south and decided I wanted to kind of move back into the more traditional martial arts. There's a couple reasons for that. One of the reasons is I wanted to increase my flexibility again. Although I could have done that in the other ones, I felt like there was a lot more, let's say, pain management with a lot of hard drills and just the stress that puts on your body. So I'm focused a lot on flexibility right now, and I also really appreciate how the traditional martial arts have a strong emphasis on the values. And I've loved being able to move into an instructor role where I currently am at a traditional martial arts place and really help build those values and the discipline, respect, and the family environment that I really enjoyed initially at Ernie Reyes, continuing to do that where I am in Colorado at a place called So's Martial Arts. So here you can see this was the High Brown award ceremony and Grandmaster Jay So in the middle there. He's an awesome instructor, lots of great training. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.